Our next guest says background checks are the first line of defense in curbing gun violence. Congressman Lance in New Jersey joins us now. Sir, we just heard the Speaker mention background checks in terms of things that we need to know more about. You and 18 of your fellow House Republicans sent a letter directly to the Speaker asking for a vote on stronger background checks. Has he responded to you?
The Speaker indicated this morning that he will wait to see what the Senate does. I hope, Erica, at the very least, the Senate passes fix NICS, because I think that's an important first step. It's not the only step. And that, of course, has bipartisan support in the Senate, Senator Cornyn and Senator Murphy. And if that can come back to the House, I hope that we will consider it, and then we can put that on the President's desk.
So that could be one part of the equation, which, of course, that endorses existing law. It doesn't really move the ball forward down the road. We've heard from Chuck Schumer, who said, and I'm quoting him here, it would be an abject failure and dereliction of duty if the only thing Congress does is fix NICS. Do you agree? If that's all that happens, will Congress have failed the American people?
I want to do more than fix NICS, but we haven't passed legislation in this regard in quite a few years, and I think that's a good start. But Erica, I do want to do more, and I hope that that is possible.
In terms of doing more, the president said yesterday that you shouldn't be afraid of the NRA. He said sometimes you have to be willing to fight with the NRA. You have an A rating from the NRA, but you are pushing not only for a discussion about stronger background checks, as we know, with Speaker Ryan, you are also talking about getting that federal research back. That could be directly tussling with the NRA. Are you willing to take on that fight?
Yes, I view this issue by issue, and I think we should bring all into the conversation, including the NRA. I don't want to demonize anybody, but where I disagree with any group, I will support the views that I think are important for the American people. That includes bump stocks. I think that they should be banned. It includes fix NICS. And it certainly includes making sure that the federal government can study this issue. And as you know, that has not happened for a very long time.
That research, even if it were to come back today, obviously we would not have those findings for some time. There has been talk, though, about more immediate action, one of them being raising the age limit, which the president, of course, brought up, and now the White House backtracking a bit on. Is that something that you support, raising the age limit?
I would look at that. I point out that young people can serve in the military at age 18, but perhaps it would be appropriate to raise the age. But we have to make sure that we advocate legislation that can pass in both houses. And of course, in the Senate, Erica, there is the 60-vote rule. I don't favor that, but that is the way the Senate works. And so I want to make sure that legislation can reach the president's desk. Fix NICS seems to be the first part of that. I agree with you that there should be more, but let's get the ball rolling to make sure that legislation can reach the president's desk.
In terms of getting the ball rolling, as I'm sure you've heard from your constituents, and we've seen certainly in our polling here in just the last week, the American public wants to see something done. In the wake of Florida, 7 in 10 Americans say they want to see stricter gun laws. That is a sharp jump after what we saw even just after Las Vegas. So what is your message to the American people when we're hearing from the Speaker of the House that there is no new legislation, that we have to start with simply endorsing or rather enforcing something that's basically already on the books? Is there something stricter that will likely come down the line, or is this it again?
No, I hope that pass legislation, and there was a tremendous failure regarding fix NICS in the Texas massacre, a horrific event, and if that information had been known about the court-martial of that officer, then I think that that horrific massacre could have been avoided, and we want to make sure that as much information as possible can move forward to all levels of government, and I certainly support other matters as well, research in this issue, background checks, and I hope that Congress can address all of these, and let's make sure that we move forward as one nation, bringing everybody into the conversation.
As we just heard from Marcel and Serfati, some of the students from Parkland, they're in Washington today. They have been very vocal.